This is Hiboy's newest electric scooter that's not only budget friendly, but has a really great feature. And in this video, we're going to learn more about it and see how well it performs. So stick around. This is the Hiboy S2R Plus, which is similar to my S2 Pro, but has a few key differences. Before we take it for a ride, let's learn more about it. Let's talk specifications of the S2R Plus. This comes with 9-inch pneumatic air-filled tires, has an estimated range of 22 miles, goes a top speed of 90 miles per hour, weighs in at 31 pounds, does have a combination of electronic and mechanical disc brakes, has a 36-volt battery system which powers a 350-watt front hub motor, and the best feature of it all is these keys, which unlocks the removable battery. Now, taking a closer look at it, I am going to point out a few key differences between my S2 Pro and this one. Starting off here on the handlebars, we do have rubber grips. They do feel sufficient, nothing fancy or special about them, but they are good enough. Now, my S2 Pro, I do have a dedicated electronic brake lever, thumb lever. This one does not. This has a combination of mechanical and electronic built in to the hand brake lever here. So that operates them both at the same time. On the right hand side, you do have your thumb lever. On the top is your LCD display with a one-button design. Long press to turn on and off. A double press will toggle between sport and normal mode, and a single press will toggle the headlight on and off. It displays your speed and your battery level as well. On the front here, you do have your headlight, and coming down towards the bottom of the stem here is your release mechanism for folding the handlebars down. Unlatch it, bring it down, connect it to the latch on the back, and you can lock it and carry it in place. Weighing 31 pounds, it's not too difficult to carry around. Below that is our front hub motor, surrounded by a 9-inch pneumatic air-filled tire. It does have built-in fenders as well, so it does help to prevent debris and stones and even water getting kicked up not only on you, but under the base and decking of the scooter itself. On the side here is where you will find your key slot. The keys are provided to unlatch the battery and remove it. That is a great feature. The S2 Pro does not have a removable battery, so I could take the battery out, take it with me to not only prevent someone riding off on it, but also to charge it much easier. I don't have to take the whole scooter to the charging station. I could just take the battery. And it also allows you to buy a secondary battery so you have minimal downtime. You can have one charging while you're riding, or keep the extra one in the backpack. When this one dies out, swap it out, and you can continue your journey. The decking is a good size here. It does have a rubber mat on it. You also will find too a charging port, so if you do want to charge the battery while it's inside the deck, you could charge it right there with the provided charger. Coming to the back here, we do have a rear fender with a working rear brake light, your mechanical disc brake system, and again another 9-inch pneumatic air-filled tire. So I don't know about you, but right now I'm ready to take it for a ride and see how it performs. So let's get moving. Before we start moving, I want to mention too that in order to get this to start rolling, you can't just give it throttle. On the S2 Pro that I own, you could change through the app if you want to have a 0 start or push to start. 0 start means that when it's not moving, if you give it throttle, it'll start moving. On this scooter, I didn't see the option in the app, so it is push to start. So you do need to get on, give it a push, give it throttle, then it will start moving. I could also tell you too that with my size 13 feet, I do have enough room on this deck. This is a relatively small scooter, but the deck is designed and spaced enough so that you could get multiple different feet positions on here without much of an issue. So if you do have larger feet, this will certainly accommodate you. Make sure you watch to the end of the video too, because I'm going to share my good and not so good thoughts regarding the scooter. There are a couple things I'm not too crazy about, so I will tell you about those at the end. There's the bridge we were just on in the distance, and we're going to head down here on the rail trail, which is a dirt trail, so we'll see how it performs on that. So the one thing I can tell you that I'm surprised about is that my S2 Pro has a 500 watt motor, which is sufficient for a scooter that size and is able to pull me around pretty good. This has a 350 watt motor, but it honestly feels identical power-wise. It feels like it's a 500 watt motor. So the way they designed this motor or implemented its output, it feels nearly identical to my 500 watt motor on the S2 Pro. So power-wise, it's just as comparable, which is a good thing. Now, if I was on my S2 Pro on this trail here, I would be getting shook to pieces. Those solid rubber tires are not very forgiving. And although you won't get a flat tire, you'll probably get a headache by the time you're done. Where on this, although there is vibration and I'm getting shooken around a little bit, it's minimal. Now, this is by no means an off-road scooter or a hill climber, but I think it can handle everyday riding and most terrains with minimal difficulty. If you're just going on the city streets or sidewalks, your park or rail trail, as long as there's no steep grades or really off-beaten paths, it should do pretty well. How you doing? We're cruising at 17 now. Display also shows the power output up to 18. And with cruise locked in, my finger's off the throttle and it's just going on its own. Let's do a brake test. Now, the brakes stopped really well. That's due to the combination of the mechanical disc and electronic braking. Hopefully it came through on camera. You can hear that. That's the regen system putting the extra power back into the battery, which gives you just a little bit of a longer ride than a system that doesn't have regen built into it. I could say going 17, 18, even 19 on this trail doesn't feel sketchy. It feels really stable. I'm pretty impressed. Let's talk some pros and cons, or my opinion, on the good and bad of the Hiboy S2R Plus. I'm going to start with the bad, and it's minimal, and I'm going to be just honest and real with you about it because that's how I do my reviews. Number one, I'm not a huge fan of the pneumatic tires. The simple reason is because you are susceptible to getting flat tires. There's things called pinch flats, where if you do hit a hard corner, that it could just pinch the tire, cause it to bust and get a flat tire. You could also run over a nail, screw, glass, so on and so forth. So flats are possible on this scooter. With that being said, on a bright side, on a positive note, these tires are really thick and durable. It's going to be hard to puncture these. So the tires they used are not like a traditional bike tire that's soft, even like on their scooter, the VE1 Pro, which has more normal rubber bicycle tires. Those are more susceptible to flats than these. These are more thicker walled tires. It's going to be harder to puncture them. So even though they're pneumatic and it still could get a flat, it's going to be more difficult just because they are a thicker, more solid tire. So that is a good thing that they went with a tire that's not going to be as easy to puncture. The second thing I want to point out is that I'm not a huge fan of the required push to start. When I'm on a scooter, I like to just give it throttle and go. It's not a deal breaker, but for me, that's my opinion. I like zero start scooters. This is something they could probably change in the app if they wanted to, but right now, the way it is push to start to get the scooter motor engaged. The last complaint I have is the headlight. And I'll say any headlight is better than no headlight, but it is dim, it's not really bright. It'll help in lower light situations like nighttime riding, but it's not going to light up your entire path. But more or less, it's going to allow people to see you rather than you to see how far you're going ahead. So that's a drawback, but for a scooter this size, I don't think most people are going to be riding it at night just because it is smaller and doesn't have the additional lighting. But I do like that it does have the tail light though. The working tail light, brake light, does help aid in alerting others knowing that you're not only riding, but when you're coming to a stop. Now for the plus side, number one, the removable battery is a phenomenal option. I think more scooters should come with that option because, as I mentioned, you could either have an additional battery so you can charge one while you're riding, or if you don't want to take the whole scooter into your house or into your charging station, you could just take the battery out. It also does help aid in the safety or security of the scooter, even though anyone could pick it up and go. I mean, 31 pounds is not heavy. But if they don't have the battery, they're not going to be able to just hop on it and ride away or even use it as a electric scooter without the battery. So it does kind of help in that aspect. The other thing I like too is that the motor output is super comparable to the S2 Pro, which is a 500 watt motor. I had no problems getting up to top speed on the dirt trail. Little slight inclines, it pulled me no problem. I mean, I weigh around 210, 215, on a good day 210, but it carried me no problem at all. And the fact that it folds down to a nice compact design makes it easy to transport, whether you have a truck, a car, an SUV, it's going to fit in there without any issues. The last great thing I love is that the locking mechanism for the handlebars is better on this than the S2 Pro. The S2 Pro does have a aluminum clip that lifts up. This is a solid spring-loaded clip that latches in, gets a nice solid hold on it, and I feel like it's a better design for locking the handlebars when you are transporting it. With that being said, I'd like to give Hiboy a big special shout out for reaching out to me once again to review another one of their products. This is their latest scooter on the market, and I've reviewed quite a few of their products, both e-bikes and scooters. I already own the S2 Pro and the VE1 Pro. Both are great scooters, and this is another one added to the lineup. We also own a couple of their e-bikes as well. So Hiboy, if you're looking to get into the market, whether it's a scooter or an e-bike, definitely recommend checking them out. Their website will be listed down below where you can find all their products that are available. As of the making of this video today, this comes in at under $470. This is a very budget-friendly scooter. When I bought my first S2 Pro, I paid, I think, over $6 with the seat option. So prices are coming down, and for what you're getting for the money, it's a phenomenal scooter. Now, if you're someone that lives in a really hilly area, steep hills, or if you're a heavier person, over say 240, 250, this scooter won't be for you. There are scooters out there that are better suited for those needs, hills or weight size. But if you're under my size and you have relatively flat terrain, this is going to get you anywhere you need to go with style and comfort. If you do want to get more information, as mentioned, check the website down below. If you want to see more scooter or e-bike reviews, there will be a playlist down below as well. Otherwise, if you have any questions pertaining to this particular scooter, the S2R Plus, I'll do my best to answer them for you. With that being said, thanks so much for watching, safe riding, and like always, I'll see you in the next video.